So I just realized that I don't actually have any shoes coming from Converse in my collection. So in today's video we're gonna have a look at my first purchase coming from them, and for sure I find that this one is looking quite good, and also the level of comfort is surprisingly good. Hello guys, and welcome back for a brand new review. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and also give me a like. It will really help out the channel. You can also give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok to see exactly what I'm going to review in the next few days. In today's video guys, we're gonna have a look at my first purchase ever coming from Converse. So let's go ahead and take them out of the box, which as you can see will come in a black box, which will have this Converse logo here on top, and rather than that we're just gonna have Converse written here on the front part of the box. So let's go ahead and take them out guys. So in today's video we're gonna have a look at a very interesting release coming from Converse for this Chuck 70s at CX. So surprisingly enough, I never owned a pair of Converse in my life, and it might be probably because I didn't find them as comfortable. But in the last year or so guys, we had this release which will take a pair of Chuck Taylors and elevate it slightly with some extra materials for this midsole, which for sure will make this one feel like a pair of platforms or even a pair of boots. So this one, when it actually dropped, it came in two colors. So we had it in this Egret colorway, which in my opinion just looks like a sail, and we also had one in a sail and black as well. And the retail price for these ones will be £110 here in the UK, which will be around 125 US dollars. And for sure, at least for me personally, I find that at least comparing with a normal release for the Chuck Taylors, this one looks actually quite nice. And as I said earlier, the level of comfort will be actually quite good. So let's go ahead and also do a breakdown of this one guys. So as you can see, for this upper we're gonna have mainly one material, which will be this sail canvas, which will keep the original aesthetic and paneling of a normal pair of Chuck Taylors. And this one, as usual, on the medial side of the ankle section will have this Converse All-Star emblem, which is looking actually quite nice, but I think this is something usual coming for most of these releases. As in for the actual lacing system, for this one we're gonna have these metallic eyelets, which will keep in place these sail rather thin laces. And just underneath these laces we're gonna have the same canvas material for this tongue, which as you can see it won't have any padding whatsoever. This one is actually quite thin. As you can see at the back of it, we're gonna have this red label, which will have written Converse Chuck Taylor athletic shoes and the player's name. So if I'm not mistaken, this All-Star was actually back in the 70s a very good pair of basketball shoes, but of course as since then we had so many releases, these weren't actually too good after a couple of years. So going now inside of the shoe guys, for this one I'm gonna have the same canvas material, which underneath it doesn't seem to have any padding whatsoever. So this one it's actually quite thin. And as you can see at the bottom we're gonna have a foam insole in this white color, which will have imprinted here at the heel section in this orange color, this CX. So going now to the midsole guys, as most of these releases for this Chuck Taylor, we're gonna have this rubberized material, which was supposed to be the actual midsole, but this one will just serve for this pair as a mudguard for all of this length. Of course, at the front of the topo section we're gonna have the same rubberized material, which on top will have a second layer, which is actually quite thick, and it will have this rib design. So for sure the protection at the front part of the shoe will actually be quite good. So the actual midsole will be made this time out of this very squishy foam, which feels actually quite nice underfoot, and this one again will have this ripped design here in the midfoot on both medial and lateral side, which is looking quite nice, and I guess it will work just fine with this ripped design at the front of the tobo section. And as you can see here at the back, we're also gonna have your usual tag with Converse All-Star and Chuck Taylor. And this midsole will actually be made out of two layers. One of it will be this squishy foam, and the other one will be this very thick and hard rubber, which on the lateral side will have written Converse traction utility, which I really feel that it's adding a bit of weight to this overall shoe. So now guys, we can finish with this very interesting rubber outsole in this white color, which will have a very nice design made out of this diamond pattern. This one also have written Converse here in the midfoot, and for sure I find that this one alongside the lower part of the midsole will add some extra weight to the shoe. But to be honest, I don't actually mind it. As in for the actual sizing guys, for me, as I have a skinny fit, for this one I just went with my true to size, and this one fits me just fine. Yeah, I would say that it's gonna be roughly the same for people with normal feet, but just in case you have wide feet guys, most definitely I would suggest you to go with at least a half size up, just to make sure that this front part of the shoe, which is a bit pointy, is not gonna be too snug for you. So overall guys, this release coming from Converse for this Chuck Taylor 70s at CX. In my opinion, it's a very interesting take on this Converse release, which will just take a normal pair and just slightly elevate it and convert it into a very utilitarian release, which for sure, at least comparing with the normal releases, it's actually having a very good level of comfort, and for sure it will come from this very thick foam layer, which feels quite good underfoot. But as I said earlier, we're also gonna have some very thick rubber midsole as well, which will add some extra weight to this overall shoe, but at least for me personally, I didn't find this to be a problem. So for sure, if you want to have something a bit more different than a normal release, this will be it. And to be honest, these ones are actually now at 50% off on End Clothing. So for sure, if you want to bag yourself a bargain, use my link in the description down below to bag yourself a deal. So yeah guys, this was my unboxing and reviewing of this release coming from Converse for this Chuck Taylor 70s at CX. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to press the like button, maybe also subscribe to the channel. You can also give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok to see exactly what I'm going to review in the next few days. Of course, if you want to have a look at any of my latest reviews, you can choose from any of the videos which you have now on the screen. And as always, I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching!